Hey everyone, this is Phreak, and this is an audio commentary for WCReplays.com, and I am now commenting on the fourth race, which is Night Elf, and this will be against Human. Now, my last commentary was countering the bear build, and, well, this is not the bear build, it's the same map, but you can see that the strategy will be different. Still works out pretty well. Also different first hero, so it's a really different game with higher level players, quite obviously. So, 15-second marker, 1x speed, Fog of War on, aT-Deadman's point of view, and we're going to go ahead and unpause this pretty soon. So, I guess that'll be now. So, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. So, make the Moonwell and an altar, pretty standard stuff. That's just the Night Elf build. That's just what you do because it works. Gets your hero out as fast as pretty much you can. And it sets you up for a Nation of War in a short amount of time and whatnot. And it's really a nondescript build, as your opponents won't know what you're doing, except that you are going to go a natural hero, which is kind of obvious in this map, but whatever. Everything stems from this build. Everything stems from Altar Moonwell. If you are going to go with a Tavern, you can go Ancient of War first, and then a Moonwell slightly later, after you put 5 on gold. Or you can just go for the Moonwell at the normal time, and then just build the altar later, and whatnot. Anyway, he's making his Ancient of War now, because Ancients of War are Gosu. They make archers and huntresses and glaive throwers, or whatever. But he's getting an archer sort of build so that he won't get towered. It's a small map, it's pretty easy to tower on. As being the smallest map, and, you know, it takes some time to get to the item shop and back. It's pretty easy to tower Night Elf on this. So he's getting the archers fast so that he can use them to focus out towers. With 300 hit points and 0 base armor, and twice the damage from archers, it'll take about 8-9 shots to kill one with an archer, which really doesn't take very long, so it'll be pretty much impossible to tower an archer build Night Elf. Of course, there's always the footies who can hit the archers, but if you keep them next to your Tree of Life and stuff, and you're on your Ancient of War, the footies will get the S smacked out of them, so you should be pretty safe. So he's scouting with a Wisp, and he sees a fair number of peasants, although the Town Hall is not currently working. So nothing specific seen yet, but he sees the militia come out, so he knows it's an expansion. He sees the militia coming out towards the right, and he sees that they're not branching off down towards that creep at the bottom. They are coming up right here, so they're going to creep this little ogre dude and whatnot. So he's kind of waiting for the water mantle to hit 225 hit points so that he can detonate it. So you see he clicks it, sees his hit points, and then detonate, and he gets free EXP for it. So he's got some experience. And so he goes to the shop, picks up Boots of Speed, and gets out of there before the peasant can wake up. The creeps on him and generally be lame. So far, 42 EXP for free from the detonate, using the shared EXP rule. That's something you always want to do if you can. And now he's getting a Huntress Hall as soon as he can, because archers won't do it for a long time. That's just not how they work. So he sees a militia, and he's going to focus that as quickly as he can, for obvious reasons. However, you're going to see that that's not going to be a kill, I don't think. As he thinks Shadow Strike's going to kill it, but it gets sharked. And another one gets sharked, so the two peasants do die, but since it's a zero lag environment, it's pretty easy for the human to just say, no, F you, and deny their own units. Yeah, I think that made sense. Okay. So he's got his archers, and he's keeping a respectable distance, because with that many footmen, he's not going to be able to win with just 2 archers. And he's holding off. No, he's making 1 more archer, but he's, after that, going to hold off to Huntresses. He's actually got the build time pretty well, so that when the Huntress all finishes, he can make a hunt. So you see that essentially perfect timing, 3 archers and a Huntress. And it's enough to be able to sort of harass effectively and do other fun stuff. And there's no arcane tower for human. So his warden can't get in there, so human has to stay pretty close to home. Otherwise, there will probably be some casualties. So Deadman's like, oh, whatever. He's still keeping close by so that the human can't creep. Obviously, he doesn't have the army to take on his opponent right now, but he does have the army to creepjack him with and probably inflict some losses. So human does have to stay home just in case, pretty much. So Wisp's going around. Really not worth it to detonate that guy right there, but he's pretty much going to have to because the Wisp's about to die. He now has a Huntress out, and he's queuing up more, I would assume, which he is. So now he's got enough of a force to start hitting stuff. You notice he uses Shadow Strike to slow down the footman, And yes, more EXP denial. That's a big thing to do in games. He's going to get that footman because of the Shadow Strike. It's going to be enough damage. And he kills it before the Water Elemental can deny it. You see that they're both trying to deny EXP all game. Already an Archer and 2 Peasants have been denied. So that's 50 EXP on one side, 40 on the other. It is a pretty big deal because the units are pretty much going to die. So by denying them, it's really very important. So he's still got those boots, and now he's going to go creep. He's letting the Huntress tank those that Overseer and Brute, and actually, sorry, he's just taking the both Brutes right now, but he's now taking the Overseer as well. I guess she is probably the more appropriate term, but whatever. Also splitting up the damage so that the health regen, the innate health regen during Nightfall, can take the best effect that it can. It is being pretty nice. As you can see, he's running guys back, and he's letting that last Huntress try to take the hits. So I think he's going to move his Warden back in a second. Maybe, maybe not. Yeah, she goes back. Focusing a different Huntress, so again he's going to probably move that back, and it really doesn't matter. But whatever, gets some nice items. Mana Steel's a great item for the Warden, because she can Shadow Strike and FOK and be generally annoying for a lot more. Yeah. So you see he's down to 2 Archers. He lost the 1, but has made a Huntress to replace it, or 2. Something like that. Has 3 Moonwells out. Doesn't need a 4th one, as he's not really that close to the food cap. He is approaching it now, but I don't think he's going to really cross over it just yet. He sees that his opponent's creeping out those creeps right there, and he sees that, well, he's pretty far away. But, I'm going to go ahead and try to attack him anyway. Decides the better of it and goes to creep. Sees that he's far enough away that he probably won't get creep jacked. And since it's Nightfall, he can just hide. And so that's an instant, you can't creep jack me, you mother effer or something. Gets the items and backs off, because he's afraid of the human army coming in and creepjacking him right here, which is probably a smart concern, because that would probably be the next logical choice, and except for the expansion Goldman right there, which he may or may not have crept. Deadman doesn't really know. But he's not going to take the chance, and gets the items and backs off. Gets a tome, and he gets a great item in the invulnerability potion, as Mount King will not own the Warden with a bolt and hit. You can just turn invincible, and you're pretty much safe. So pretty nice right there. Now he's not even going to creep those green camps, those 2 little level 1 nulls, as they're not worth the time. Sure, you can get 8 gold apiece and 20 EXP apiece, but it's not worth it, as you can kill a peasant, which is 25 EXP and costs him 75 gold. Pretty nice, and makes him send another guy if he ever wants to use the laboratory. So sees the farm, says, well, I'll focus it a little bit while I get items with my Warden. So that's exactly what he does. Creeps up to the camp, or to the shop, and buys himself, as daybreak comes, I would assume a Scroll of Healing, and he does. So that's when Scrolls of Healing come, is when daybreak comes. Now you notice he sends a Huntress out so you can see if his opponent's coming. So he's going to kind of chill out there, see if he's creeping the expansion, see if he's expanding there. Sees that he's not, and the creeps are there, and so he sees the army is coming, however, and he's getting ready for a fight. If he hadn't have sent that out, he would have been creeping and gotten creep jacked, had to burn her TP before he got to kill anything. So this Huntress is going to be in a really bad spot. However, drains the mana from the MK, and is going to FOK, and try to get herself out there. However, drinks the potion before she gets focused, because that would pretty much say you're going to die. However, look at that Scroll of Healing usage, and doesn't save the Huntress. But, you know, he microed back that top one at about 100 hit points before it got killed. And caused a TP because the Warden was back there with pretty much plenty of mana to FOK. He to get 2 off, and a Shadow Strike. So really not good positioning for the human, as he really didn't have quite the army to take him out. Especially with that Mana Steal, the MK was out of mana, and so he really had to get out. However, you see that the Huntress is still up there, and sees that he's coming. Loses the Huntress for it, but he knows that he has to hurry up and finish that creep camp. Gets the items, and says TP out, because he's got a lot of his army slowed. He's about to lose stuff to the Rock Golem, and TP's out just before Stormbolt hits. However, I think it still hit that unit. I can't say for sure. Don't know, but whatever. So you see that his units are very low. The TP saves him pretty much. Rallies his archers back and his hunches back to the army. He's got a lot of very low hit point units. As you saw, he microed back the Huntresses, because I believe those Stormbolting golems will actually Stormbolt your lowest hit point unit. And so they would have actually gotten bolts on those Huntresses and killed them, which would have been generally bad. So it gets them back before they die, and generally does good things with that. Now he gets a Demon Hunter out because he wants to be able to deny the MK more mana. Obviously, Clarities and Brilliance will help him out, but being able to mana burn him large amounts will make sure that he can't Stormbolt pretty much all battle, and clap all battle and whatnot. Now, he sees the Arcane Sanctum, so he knows there's casters, which means no mortars, which is somewhat of a sigh of relief, because mortars really do own Elf pretty badly. They kill Dryads, for obvious reasons, and they kill Huntresses for obvious reasons. However, he sees that there is creeping going on right there, and comes to Creepjack as soon as he can, as he saw that Rifleman shooting his rifle, and he's not taking target practice, he's actually shooting stuff. So, takes Huntress, tries to block a little bit of stuff, doesn't really get great positioning, and the MK comes out, which essentially says, "Go away, you mother effer." And so that's what happens. He kind of backs up, eats the Stormbolt on the Demon Hunter, big deal. Takes the Invisibility Potion, though, and that's not going to be fun, because he can spring up at any time, and he can't be mana burned. So that's something smart to do, is Stormbolt kind of randomly comes out of the guy's groin as he was invisible for the time. But whatever. No healing scroll, so Blizzard's going to hurt. You notice he already lost Huntress. However, he summons up Furbogs and says, "You need to die." And so that's pretty much what he does. He says, "You need to die." And he's got a Dryad even, for more fun. So he can slow down units to get free kills that way. He's only really lost one Huntress, and now he's killing a Rifleman. I think he got a Footman before. So that one Dryad's given him pretty much 2 free kills. Pretty nice, huh? However, his army is low. One more sort of Blizzard, and if he got a clap, he'd be pretty much screwed. He can get a clap because he has his Potion of Mana. He's also regenerating mana from Brilliance Aura. You notice he eats the Mana Potion and Stormbolts. So for 200 gold, he kills a 130 gold unit, gains 40 EXP, and he's got 75 more mana for it, or to show for it. So Blizzard goes off again. However, healing scroll just in time to kind of not have his units die instantly. Looks like a retraining to Blizzard, because his archers were taking a lot of damage. It looked more than 30, but whatever. Can't say for certain. As you can see, he's trying to focus off units again. That mana burn probably wasn't a great choice, as it might not even be enough to kill it, but he's still trying to focus what he can. You know, it actually might end up killing that priest. Can't say for sure. Yeah, it gets it. So mana burn actually got him a kill. And he kind of paced himself, realized that he could probably get a kill before the priest got home. Gauged it, said, "Okay, I'll get 50 damage from the mana burn, and I'll kill that unit." So doing pretty well so far for Deadman. It's still pretty close, because that AoE is really going to rip him up. So he knows that he has to really kind of switch away from archers, because archers are going to get mauled by the Blizzard. And so, of course, he has an Ancient of Lore, and he has some Dryads. However, he gets himself a... Sorry, I yawned right there. Gets himself another healing scroll. Now, he knows he's killed 300 EXP worth of units from that fight, as you can tell by the 150 EXP on the DH. And he's going to level up to level 2 right now, so the DH will be a better tank, which is good. Transfer the potion off from the Warden to the DH, because he's taking some damage, and if you were to get creep checked right here, which probably won't happen because he does have Ultra Vision, you can see that they can see across the whole map, or across the whole screen length. He knows he won't get creep checked too badly, but if he does, he doesn't want the DH to die, because it is pretty integral in denying that Mountain King. So it gives him the potion so he won't die very easily. Since he does have a healing scroll, a 500 hit point potion on the Warden, you know, a bunch of survivability items on the Warden. There's 4 ways that he can heal himself, or she, and not really heal, but sort of keep from dying. And also, since she picked up the 500 hit point potion, well, you might as well transfer off the other one to the DH. So, lots of reasons for putting the potion off. Now, he sends a bunch of Furbogs to go kill that farm. However, I'm not sure he's going to be able to do it. Gets it just in time, so pretty lucky. And now he can't use that lame scout farm to reveal. Pretty nice. However, he sees the Archmage in a bad spot. You know, he bolts the Demon Hunter so he can't mana burn. A large amount of rifles versus a large amount of unarmored for Night Elf. He's going to get focused, has to TP out because there's too much army for him to take. Kills another Dryad from rifles. So this is a very good combo right here, as you can see. He's got rifles to kill Huntresses and Dryads, and he's got AoE to kill archers and Huntresses, and he's even got, priests and slow to really, you know, nullify any other advantages Deadman could bring from sort of harassing. Obviously, slow kills harassment as they move slowly, and priests heal, which means that harassment, unless it actually kills something, won't be effective at all. It'll just waste some hero mana and some hit points. So right now, BigMan's in a good spot, because he's had to force 2 TPs now, although he used one of his own, at least one, maybe 2, not sure. Warden's also level 4, which is another big deal. However, Deadman realizes he's going to go creep. And notice, again, he sends out a Wisp to check for Creepjack. And what does he see? But a big army coming into Creepjack. So he's going to quickly kill that and run his arse out of there. As the human army will come in right behind. You're going to see him come in right here. So that's the beauty of scouting, like with Wisps and whatnot. Now, he probably could have technically finished that creep camp and waited for the human army right there. Could have happened pretty easily. But, didn't, luckily for him. So he gets himself huge amounts of mana on the Warden, and he's going to come Creepjack. He gets himself 2 Ogre Magi, though. That's going to really be good for the human, because he's going to have Bloodlust rifles and a Bloodlust Mountain King. MK's in a bad spot, but eats invulnerability, so he's safe. You can see that the taunt going off, doing pretty nicely for him. As the archers are going to fall to the Blizzard right now. Down goes 1. Down goes 2. And another one's at 14 hit points. And down goes another one. So you can see Blizzard's really owning the Archer army. So he's down to Dryads and MGs. However, he's also got some hero levels. He's got 4 and 3, and he's got infinite mana on the Warden, or nearly infinite, because he's also got a mana potion. FOK goes off, deals some good damage. He's going to try to get this last rifleman. Troll protection goes off a little late, but whatever. And his DH is running in, getting some hits, running back as he's focused, eats the potion. Another rifle falls. Warden eats a mana potion, so she's going to be around forever. As you can see just how well those heroes did. Although he lost a lot of his army to Blizzard and rifles and whatnot, he's still going strong. It's the quick micro, FOK and run. The Warden didn't even go through the animation, just simply had knives fly out from her cape. And now the 15 hit point priest can't heal himself and gets killed. So you can see just how much those boots of speed are doing, allowing him to chase down a lot of guys. His Wisp comes in to check the expo as soon as he thinks of it, and look, he's got an expansion. So that's fun. However, it gets I think a water elemental is what I saw. Maybe it was something else. Can't say for sure. But he's got the MG army. The MGs are winning him the game right now because without them, he would have had no front line. All he would have had would be the Dryads and the heroes. And as you saw, that one Mountain Giants has tanked 510 hit points. Other one's tanked around 323 hit points. And that's damage that didn't happen to the heroes, and that's a big deal because otherwise he probably would have lost both his heroes and lost the game. MGs cost tons, but you know what? It's still a big deal. Uses the taunt, chain taunt. Oh, get the Archmage maybe? Yes, no, yeah, 1 hit point, and down it goes. So you notice that taunt. It only gave him like 1/10 of a second, but it was enough to be able to get a few more hits. DH in a bad spot, gets away though. 40 hit points. More taunting going off. And the militia just kind of focus on the MG. The Warden's not in a great spot, but it doesn't really matter. Because she's not really going to die very quickly. And she can always just back up. And now the militia aren't even militia anymore. So it's really kind of over for BigMan. MK comes out, but eats a potion before the bolt comes off. So she's pretty safe. Silences, so he can't use that annoying Shadow Strike. And, kills the MK, but it's really kind of going to be too late. Because he's got Dryas, he's got Shadow Strike, he's got 3 means of taunt. And the MKs just keep continually getting hit. And he's going down pretty fast. So 18 minutes, and he's going to say GG and leave. In just about 2 seconds. Anytime now. Anytime now. Come on, you can do it. You can do it. Alright. So, as soon as the game ends, I'm going to go over the overview. MK's in a bad spot, gets slowed, gets hit by MGs, gets taunted, and down it goes. And leaves before the rifle dies. Because, you gotta save that rifleman. Okay, so, now the reason he won. Well, first of all, I'm going to kind of go in chronological order. Now, the beginning game started with him scouting, seeing what he was creeping, saw the low water elemental, and dispelled it as soon as he could, because when you dispel it at exactly 225 hit points, that means that's a full 225 hit points that the WE is not tanking. And that means that the militia or the footies or the Archmage or something is going to have to tank that, or he's going to have to summon another one to make up for that. Also killed as soon as he can, got some experience on his Warden. Pretty nice. It cost 60 gold, it was worth it. Because, what happened afterwards? He came in there with the Warden, Shadow struck? Sure. One peasant, focused it down to about 20 hit points, let the Shadow Strike finish it off. BigMan denied it, but that's still one peasant that he doesn't have. And that's 75 gold, and a bit of wood income until he replaces that. which delays tech and a whole bunch of other stuff. It's pretty good. And he even started focusing another one. It denied that one as well. So that was 150 gold, and I'd say around 40 wood overall. That was probably denied, give or take. I didn't get XP for it, but it was still pretty much worth it. And then after that, he had the Archer Force, just in case of a fast expansion. It'd be enough to harass pretty effectively. If he's putting up a fast expansion, he wouldn't have very much money to put up footies, and it would allow him to put up a quick second engine of war, maybe even some APs, and push right there. Goodbye, everyone.